if you go to clubelo.com, we have ELO ratings for various football teams. Now, we have looked at ELO for tennis before, and we also applied it to the World Cup. Since ELO is a very good method, it's one of the leading methods. I think it was developed by a Hungarian chess player, or I mean, by a Hungarian, maybe mathematician, as a way to rate chess players. So that's just from Wikipedia. And the way it works is that if two teams, or for chess, if two players play each other, you look at the difference in their rating. And then if the weaker player wins, they get a lot of points because there was they were playing a team that was far stronger than they were according to ELO. So it dynamically adjusts. So depending on the games that the person has played, they'll win points and lose points. But in the end, the top player will have the highest ELO rating because they tend to win more. And then this does very well in tennis. So in tennis, you have the ATP rating and you have the ELO rating. So the ATP rating would look at what round the match was played at. So basically, if you make it to the semi-final of Wimbledon, that's a very prestige, that's a big game. And so if you win that, you get lots of ATP points. While ELO doesn't care that it's the semi-final of Wimbledon. ELO will go, who are you playing? So depending, if you played, the top ranked player, and you beat them, then you would get a lot of points because unless you were, the second rated, then you were very close with number one. But it doesn't care about whether you're playing, this was the final or this was the semi-final, etc. What matters is who did you beat? Who are you playing? And if you were, the number one player and you lost to an underdog, like to an outsider, a very low ranked person, you will lose a lot of points because it would kind of go, oh, perhaps you're not that good, I mean, I thought with my ratings that you were way better than the person you were playing and you shouldn't have lost that. So then it just, the way that I mean that ELO is better than ATP from the tennis rating is it's a better predictor. So with ELO, I can estimate if two tennis players are playing, ELO gives me a way to estimate the odds. It tells me who I expect to win. Obviously, the higher ranked player should typically beat the lower ranked one. In ELO, it's not so much ranked, it's how many points you have. So if you were rated 2000 and you were playing 1800, it would go, two people are playing, one is 200 points better than the other. So it basically tends to, ELO predicts better than ATP. So if you have, you're rank number 5 in ATP and you're playing against rank number 50, um, it doesn't forecast as well as ELO. And many studies have been done on this. When we were looking at the football, likewise, ELO has a very good track record. Again, you cannot predict the future. You don't know what's going to happen in any match, and which is what makes it interesting. I mean, if you knew that Team A is going to be Team B, that would just be boring, and people no longer watch. No, people would stop watching. But in football, now moving back to football, you can have a dodgy penalty given. I thought yesterday Man City should have gotten a penalty. But, there's a high degree of risk there. Here, they're applying the ELO methodology to football clubs. And that gives us a way to predict what we expect is going to happen in the Champions League. So here we can see Spurs, or Tottenham, have an ELO rating of 1902. So very good, actually. I'm an Arsenal supporter, so I think that's overrated. But anyway. And Barcelona have an ELO rating of 2000. So there's not much difference. You can see it has a delta ELO, so what the difference between the two clubs is. And this is giving Barcelona a slight edge. Positive would be the home team is slightly better. Like it was nice. What happened there? Yeah. So here it says HFA is equal to 94, 97. That's what I was coming around to there. Because you can see the ELO rating, Barcelona's 2001, that's 1902. Barcelona has an advantage of 99. The reason this delta is only an advantage of 2 is because, as it said, HFA is 97, which I guess stands for home field advantage. Because in football, the home team tends to win. So I mean, it's a big it's an advantage, definitely, to be the home team. So that's why, since Spurs are the home team, you add 97 to their score. And that brings them quite close to Barcelona. And it has here what the projected probabilities are. So it thinks that Spurs has a 38% chance of winning, Barcelona have a 35%, and draw is 27. So in this way, it's able to give odds for all the various results. Now, what am I trying to do? Well, first of all, I just wanted to introduce the Club ELO website, which I think is fantastic, because it does all the work for me. I can just click on today, as I just did now, and it gives me an update. It tells me what the ratings for the various teams are. This is important because the thing is, in European football, I really don't know the different teams. I mean, I know Barcelona are really good and Real Madrid, but I don't really follow them that closely. I mean, I don't know whether uh, like it would be like if I've been following Man United and I'd go, oh, Man United are like if I was in Italy and I would know Man United, oh, they're very good. In the same way, I'd say Barcelona, they're very good. But I haven't really been following them. I might not be aware that Man United haven't won the league for many years. You know that they have not been challenging to win the title for a good few years. And likewise I mean, even more so for Arsenal. I mean, it's been well over 10 years before since the last title, and it's been rare even to come be competitive for the last good while. So when you're in a different country, you have a vague awareness of other teams. So how am I supposed to know whether Barcelona are the favorite? I mean, are Barcelona very good now? I don't know. Okay, I don't even know who won the. I think I know Barcelona won the league a couple of years ago. Yeah, I think last year Barcelona won, but again I don't really know. I know that in Italy, Juve have been winning it every year. I know in Germany, Bayern pretty much win it every year. So but that's the level of my knowledge. I don't know really how are Inter Milan now. How are AC Milan? I know Napoli had a very good season last year, but I know that their manager is gone and he's taken some of their players and stuff. So are Napoli the same as they were last year? I know that Ancelotti is the Napoli manager now, and he's one of the greatest Champions League, European Cup, whatever manager players ever. So just him being there automatically, to me, boosts Napoli in the Champions League. But again, how do I factor that all in? So this, the ELO rating, quantifies it. It tells me, oh, Napoli are now ranked 1849 because they've been looking at all them. So this has been updated for many, many years. So this kind of gives you the whole history of this club. And so I don't have to wait um, 4 or 5 or 10 games or to see how this team is doing. No, this tells me in the pecking order in Europe, this is where Napoli are. They're ranked the 11th best team. Liverpool the 5th. So here I just wanted to introduce the Club ELO website. There's the URL, you can have a look at yourself. The question is, how can I make this actionable? How do I use this for prediction, for finding value to bet?